up here at the shop. I'm doing an oil change on everybody calls it a steamroller. I call it Kim Kardashian. You know.
Bigger than that. It's like a Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, it's pretty bootylicious. Oh my god, we actually have one. Ryan's changing the oil right now as I'm finishing up my breakfast of champions.
Boost gauge.
What does that sucker read to?
I don't know, I'm gonna let it cool down and put my lips on it. Oh, it's 20.
Okay, I was about to say, I hope you got a low pressure gun. Or else it wouldn't.
It's pretty hot still.
Just take one. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This went on you. Right in your drink. Yeah, don't start with it out already.
I did.
Move your fingers here.
I was about to blow my jaws out. 5 pounds.
I guess that's working, yeah.
My jaws are gonna hurt the rest of the day now.
Dude, this is actually just gonna fit right in there.
We need to do a compression check on this thing, see which one has the lowest compression. And we'll
Open up these clamps here.
new plugs in that.
Just really falling in place. It's meant to be a little boost gauge action.
Pretty watery.
There we go. So I'm back here getting my feet wet because I don't have waterproof shoes on. We're hitting the junkyard hard right now looking for some tires for the front steamroller. We found some old groundhogs that are potentially going to be it. More than likely, anything we find back here is going to need tubes though, so that sucks. Adam found a slick. There's another slick over there.
That looks kind of small, short though.
Yeah.
Don't it?
Yeah.
It fits a big tire in it. Whatever
Yeah.
size that thing might be like a 35.
At least. That freaking thing's big. Yeah.
Only been sitting in the field for 3 years.
That sucker's smooth. You can't even barely, you can hear the valve train working. Like a vacuum.
Sweet. That's cool.
All right, so it's not necessarily the initial fire up, but initial fire up after an oil change. We had a lot of valve train noise, and we were hoping to not have any bottom end noise in the motor. It's been sitting for a couple years. It was full of gas, the bottom of the crankcase was, and now with some fresh oil in it, it's cleaned it up some. Still a little rattly, but I mean, what do you expect from a, old 60s model inline 6? And so we just got to do a little fine tuning. See, get some tires on it, a little test hit.
Which we don't need that.
They're like 36, 30. They're big. They get some huge ones, and then they run a real small one on those.
It wouldn't.
That's good. Do you want more than that?
It's
Or?
good patina.
Seal it for the rest of its life. So, I really just want to see this thing run, so I don't feel like trying to find anti-seize for the next hour.
Let's see.
Uh-oh. I need to put a bigger battery. Getting some readings. It lives. It lives again. boost gauge. Check my boost gauge now. Oh. Running some old oil out from the exhaust that we dumped in there. God, he almost got the curve. Maybe let her idle a little long without like checking anything. What? Thermostat be hung closed? Could be.
I don't know. We need to actually start it and circulate. Just start it.
Ugh, God dang. So we got the thing running, initial startup, everything was great, and we're running it for a little bit more time now, going through like the startup process. And I didn't think about checking the radiator until like after it was probably already hot. And it was basically, I think it had an air bubble in the system, so it exploded on me. And but now we're getting the system bled out, and yeah, we're just loving it the way it sounds. All the steam is from me spraying the radiator with cold water, but yeah, it's playing now. I gotta get a chop rating from Mr. Zachary on Instagram, Zach from HOONING. He does chop ratings for everybody. He's kind of like the chop king of Instagram, and it's some abnormal chop, but I mean, it's abnormal altogether.
IC position. What does that mean? What's going on here? Oh my god. Knob. You clicked on. Boost gauge work?
That's where I'm just dying. Adam had to leave to go pick up his kids from school right about the prime time when me and Weston were riding around and got this thing nuclear hot.
No,
So,
Ryan got
yeah,
it
actually,
I was looking at the monitor screen.
We were trying to figure out the screen, trying to like figure out why it wasn't telling us any temperature or nothing like that. And we thought we just needed to drive it around some, but what we should have done is instantly listen to the Holley screen, because basically what it was telling us is what
Error.
Yeah, it was saying error, which means we probably should have shut it off and figured this problem out before we overheated it. But it'll be all right. So we've been running Holley EFI in our Monster Jam trucks for quite some time now, and it's been a massive improvement for us, not only for performance reasons, data log reasons, all that good stuff that we never had before, but the biggest thing is emissions and fuel consumption for us. We're running a lot, and a lot of trucks all over the place, and a lot of times we're in venues that aren't made for a massive blower motor to be run inside of. So not to mention, 8 or 12 of them at a time. So this has helped us out tremendously with figuring out all kinds of new ways to better our engine program, make motors last longer, find out why they messed up, why they had issues with the data log system, and then the biggest thing is the emissions. So it makes it nice, clean air. The motors, we're not wasting fuel anymore. We're not blubbering out a bunch of unburnt fuel into the air. So it makes it nice, clean. It's better for load up. For us, when we're loading these things in the trailer, you're in a confined space. The fumes are way less, which is way nice. So EFI system from Holley has turned us around big time in the Monster Jam world. Now they're doing it at our home. So our motors are based off of big block Chevrolets. They are all aftermarket though, world product block, Rodix heads, little field intake and blower, and we're running all Holley EFI fuel injection system. and then Enderley injector hat. That's cool, old school stuff. But through Monster Jam United States Hot Rod Association rules, we're regulated down to a certain cubic inch, and are no bigger than a certain cubic inch, and no more than an 871 blower that is spun no more than 10% faster than the crank. So in like normal English, that means this big supercharger right here is actually not that big for the crazy race industry, but we can't go any bigger than this, and this can't spin any more than 10% faster than the crank. So this thing inside has got these crazy rotors, sucks air and just compacts it into the motor, makes crazy power. So yeah, that supercharger, and if you know anything about cars, the supercharger whine and the instant torque of these things are just insane. So this thing is probably about a $40,000 piece, probably more than that now, honestly, with the craziness of how everything's hard to get. But Moroso oil pan they custom make for us because we run our motors backwards in the truck. So we want a rear engine truck to get the weight displacement more towards the back middle of the truck. So to do that, we have to run a custom pan that Moroso makes for us, custom pickup they make for us. They do our valve covers as well. And right now we're on our dyno. So every one of our engines, we build it, we break it in here on the dyno, and then Richard tunes it in, makes it 100% ready to go. So when we plug these, we put these things in the truck. Most of the time we're putting them in the truck and we have to like go to the show right away. Like during the show we swap motors occasionally. It's not fun, but we do it. So when these things go in the truck, they have to be 100% ready to rip. And that's what the dyno does for us. Richard has everything 100% broken in, ready to go, tuned in, everything's ready. So when we bolt it in, we can go wide open throttle right on the track. Got the thing start picking up the temperature, thermostats in, and it is a whole nother animal now. Like it, yeah, like just a little bit for me revving it, trying to get the temperature to warm up, it is like pretty nasty. Like, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this rear end is welded in good. Oh my God, the rim broke. Oh my God. Well, so see, the deal is the Holley F5 just got really good to me. So this thing is like referencing the boost and giving the proper amount of fuel and like actually running right for once. So I was having to rip a donut, you know, like 5 of them. And now it looks like Adam may have forgot to finish welding the rim together. So yeah, I guess
It's definitely making enough power now.
look at the freaking donut mark right here. Look at that. Oh man, look at the angle.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it ripped the whole rear end out for a second because I saw the 2 cams right there, and I was like, oh geez, it looked like it broke.
Nice, man. Like, and it's like not running hot. The boost gauge is working.
I want to see what it is with smaller tires.
Ah, dude, I don't think so. The speedometer is going crazy. So the gear ratio of this thing, it makes the speedometer think it's going like 100 miles an hour. And the speedometer is like tacked out, like stripping gears, like wah, going crazy. So yeah, I say it's time for a rim. It's probably time for a rim and tire upgrade. Like, I like the turf tires. We've got some nicer ones. We definitely, obviously the rims.
We need to put some cleaty on there.
I don't know, dude. If we do some cleats, dude, we're like, that motor's got quite a bit of torque. I don't know. Whoops. Adam shouldn't have left. He should have been here. Quite the procedure.
Crazy to see how wide the rear axle actually is whenever the tires aren't on it. I'm gonna drift around and show Ryan how to drift it, even though he had 66s and I have 31s. All right, so me and Ryan got a little excited in the steamroller. More Ryan than I. I was trying to read all of our gauges and everything, make sure everything was right, wasn't overheating, and we blew the center out of the rim because Adam put 4 like 1-inch welds on these custom rims that he did. But we have a slight dilemma. Ryan still has to pack. I have to unpack from last weekend, do my laundry and pack to go for Monster Jam tomorrow morning at like 5 in the morning. So we're gonna dump this off on Reese, and it's gonna be a nice little fair trade. He's gonna weld the center back in the rim, throw it back on steamroller, and then he's gonna be able to drive it while we're gone and basically test it for us some more. Even though we already tested it, it made way more power than I thought a little inline 6 from whatever year it is would, with a Cummins turbo on it. So yeah, I'd say it was a great success.